Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars, and let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on the 1 week time frame, and then we're going to move to lower and lower time frames, and we're going to end with the immediate short term for Bitcoin. Now, as the video title might suggest, things are going to get a bit freaky in this analysis. I want to try some new things today, so let's just dive right in. First of all, we are still breaking out to the downside from this bearish flag pattern that broke out to the downside at 87K. Currently, we are actively targeting 52,000 in the Bitcoin price. So yes, I am expecting a new lower low to be formed for Bitcoin. And notice how we are now getting quite close to actually being in the timing window for a 4-year cycle low. As you can see on the monthly time frame, we actually just bounced from this big level of support sitting from 65,000 all the way down to about 62K in the Bitcoin price. And we have that Fibonacci golden pocket sitting just below that. Now, if you're wondering how I got to that Fibonacci golden pocket, I simply took the 4-year cycle low, the bear market low, all the way up to the bull market top. And that is how we got this level right here. So this is really one of the most important areas of support on the higher time frames right now. But what I wanted to show you is that we are just a few months away from actually being in that 4-year cycle low window. So perhaps it is just a matter of seeing one more low for Bitcoin over the next couple months, and then we might be ready to go for that next bull run. The reason why I'm not expecting us to basically be done here and just start blasting off to the upside is because no bear market bottom has ever formed like that. Usually it takes quite a few months of just chopping sideways, basically building some kind of base, and then you start to get the range break. And that is actually the signal that we are indeed heading into a new bull run, especially if we are in this timing window for the 4-year cycle low. So worst case, we get another major leg to the downside, and best case, most bullish case, is that we get a bit further of a move to the upside, end up rolling over and basically just chop sideways for a bit while we're building that base, get the breakout, and we go long from there, ready for that next move to the upside. Now, the reason why I said things are going to get a bit freaky in this video is because I want to invert the scale for Bitcoin. Maybe if you're newer to trading, you are more used to looking at charts going to the upside, and we can analyze the structure more easy that way. So basically, if you're looking at this market structure here, guys, we got a move to the downside if we are looking at it invertedly, of course. Chomped sideways here for a bit, then saw a break below that range. So this was really the bullish signal, again, from the inverted scale. So really, this is the start of the bear market. From there, we got this huge move to the upside, bit of a pullback, another huge move to the upside. And now we are seeing yet again a bit of a pullback. Now, if we start breaking this level here, which I highlighted earlier, this is sitting at about 76,000 in the Bitcoin price. We could get a further move in that pullback, perhaps to 80,000 or maybe even 85K in the Bitcoin price. Here we should be expecting a lot of support. Again, looking at it from the inverted scale. So really this is resistance. And from there, the base case expectation should be that we get another rollover, or from the inverted side that we get another move to the upside. So let me flip the chart back right here. And this is what we are really looking at. Currently, we're obviously in that bear market. We might get a move up to 80K, 85K, but from there, I am expecting another rollover. And like I said earlier as well, usually if we're talking about a bear market low, we get quite a lot of time of chopping sideways and then a clear range break or something like this to really signal to us that the bear market has been completed. The low is actually in at that point, and from there we can start looking for a next move to the upside. So in my opinion, this is actually the bullish case for Bitcoin here, which is only a bit further of a move to the upside. It would be extremely unlikely for Bitcoin to just get a massive run up, end up making a lower high from here, and then end up rolling over to make a 4-year cycle low. This would just be extremely uncharacteristic for Bitcoin during a bear market. It would be completely unprecedented. Now, of course, we need to be open to anything and everything. However, that is by no means my base case scenario. So this is exactly why we have these points of invalidation, like for example, the point of the breakout from this bearish flag pattern. Because after we break above 87K, I can actually cross off this price target and say, okay, I'm no longer targeting 52K in the Bitcoin price. Now, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I think the last time I used an inverted chart in a video was over a year ago. So hopefully you guys are still with me here and it didn't get too freaky for you. Okay, anyway, so let's move on. Right here on the daily time frame, we have resistance to the upside sitting from 76,000 up to 78,000 in the Bitcoin price. After that, the next area of resistance above is already sitting from 80 up to 82,000. Besides that, in terms of support to the downside, that is sitting from 73 all the way down to 71.5K. And here's that range once again on the 6-hour time frame, guys. So that 76K level is really the key area to break. Besides that, we're still holding above that ascending trend line here in the short term as well. So it seems quite likely that if we break above this 76K level, we are likely going to see a lot more bullish sentiment in the market, which could fuel a further move to the upside. Like I said, 80K, potentially even 85K if we get some crazy momentum here and break through that area of resistance around 80,000. But overall, guys, with any move that we see to the upside here, most likely you're just going to see me draw an ascending trend line like this. And when we see that breaking, you're going to see me post a video called "The Trap Has Been Set." This has all been a major bull trap, and I'm looking for lower prices for Bitcoin to be reached. Okay, so hopefully my base case for Bitcoin is clear here. And now let's dive into the immediate short term here. So if we're looking at this 4-hour time frame, for now we're still in this bullish structure, ascending line of resistance, ascending line of support, and we do still have that confirmed bearish divergence in the chart as well. Do not forget about that, even though we are very, very close to actually invalidating this. But for now, it hasn't been invalidated yet. That only happens when we make a new higher high above 75.5K. So for now, that short-term warning signal in the form of that bearish divergence is still active. So once again, so long as this bearish divergence is still active, we should be open to the possibility of seeing some more choppy sideways price action or potentially some bearish momentum. But right after we invalidate this bearish divergence, guys, this completely opens the door to more bullish price action for Bitcoin once again, especially after breaking that 76K level that I covered on the 6-hour time frame. Moving on to the Bitcoin ETF flow tables. Yesterday, we saw a net inflow of close to $200 million into the Bitcoin ETFs. So recently, we have seen a lot more inflows than outflows. So I'm just going to continue updating you guys, and I will let you know about tomorrow's print in tomorrow's video. Now, finally, moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on the 3-day time frame, we still have massive liquidity to the upside. So this is sitting right around that key area of support at 76K, just above there. So make sure you actually get some confirmation candle closes above that 76K level so you don't get trapped, or really use that 76K level as the point of invalidation if you're in some kind of short-term trade. Otherwise, once again, you might just see a liquidity grab followed by a huge move to the downside in order to grab that downside liquidity. So I'm not saying it has to play out like that, but always good to be a bit cautious, especially when we are looking at a massive multi-month range break, because in terms of sentiment, you would expect everyone to be super bullish around the range highs and to be super bearish around the range lows. So this is why it's important to be extra cautious about possibly getting trapped when we are trading at the range highs. So this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of these important update videos. Let me know if it was too freaky or not freaky at all. But either way, if you do end up subscribing or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.